Hey, it's Ken. I'm shooting from Philly, where I am currently visiting for my grad program in applied positive psychology. We all had to write a story about an experience that gives us meaning. And so I wrote about certain experiences that led me to my desire to helping others. I think part of this paper's purpose was to reveal the inner motivations behind all of us who are in positive psychology, and to help us, as the people writing it, also align ourselves to that meaning, to that purpose, to that calling. And honestly, after writing my story, which I don't know, I just chose some of the experiences that I've had in life, not necessarily the most challenging, but some interesting ones. I kept thinking about how every day in our day-to-day interactions, like when we go out into the world, when we go to work, when we go to school, when we do all the little, go through the minutia of the day-to-day, we very rarely bare our guts and our true selves to other people. And I've been reflecting on that a lot over the past couple of years, especially because I've been coaching a lot, where I get to see really the internal workings of somebody, all the hopes, the dreams, the fears, the experiences that make up who they are. And I've been feeling like until I get to that point where I know how you think and know how you've processed some of the more difficult and some of the best times you've had in your life, I don't fully know who you are yet. And I feel like it is such a shame that we don't get to those topics of conversations more often in daily life. Not only is it meaningful to share our experiences and to feel seen ourselves and feel understood, but it's meaningful for other people to share them with us. It creates this connection, this bond, and this sense of understanding and vulnerability that is so often missing from daily life today. Also, growing up in the internet age, I really quickly realized that people are a lot more willing to share and open up online, especially when they're behind a username or some sort of screen name, because they feel like they're less likely to be judged and they feel more comfortable sharing with other people. And if there's anything that I do my work for, my coaching, my interest in psychology, even in my personal relationships, I often do things because I want to understand how a person is genuinely thinking and feeling. And I'm very bored by the surface level shit that people put up just to keep face. Look, we're all human beings. We don't have that much time. And when it becomes my time or our time to move on, I want to know that I actually got to understand and care about the people in my life. And that's not possible until, in my opinion, there's an exchange of the meat of who you are. And sometimes it might be more simple, and sometimes it might be more complex. Sometimes it might be a lot darker. Sometimes it might be a lot brighter. But whatever that meat, whatever that essence of your soul is, the essence of your being, your experiences, your belief systems, all the things that you've internalized as you've navigated this crazy thing we have, this improbable thing we have called life, the more that I hear and experience and understand that stuff, the more happy I am. The more engaged and connected I feel to the world, and the more I feel like getting up out of bed and going out and actually spending time with people. If I had to spend all of my time only doing surface level conversations, the small talk in the elevator, the first few questions that you always have on the first date where you're going so what do you do? Where are you from? Which ones, again, are great questions and, valid points of conversation, but they're not the destination, right? There's somewhere you want to go. There's a starting point, but we have to go somewhere. And I think that essence of being is really something that I'm looking for in whatever course of work that I do. Whenever I coach, whenever I present stories, whenever I write, whenever I learn, that's always what I'm searching for. And in my opinion, those stories, those experiences, and also sharing them with each other, they are the nexus point through which all deep learning happens. Because as human beings, we only have our experiences. We don't get the benefit of other people's lessons and stories until we hear them, until we can understand them for ourselves, until we can empathize and put ourselves in their shoes. And it is through those stories that we begin to see the world. So I guess what I'm saying is sometime today, or in the next few days, or in the next week, go out and have a deeper, more meaningful conversation with somebody about something they've experienced, something you've experienced. Show more interest in other people than you have already given, and see what comes of it. You might find that you feel more engaged and happy to be a human being that day. I know I certainly have. So, signing off, see you on the next one.